Hi everyone, I am Janelle McIntosh and welcome to Defending the Faith. Now, Defending the Faith is a series that is based on 1 Peter chapter 3 and verses 15. It says to always be prepared to have a reason for the hope that you believe in. And my passion arose out of a desire where so many people are afraid to share their faith, where so many don't know how to appropriately defend the faith. Now, I'm not talking about getting into arguments with others, but we have all asked questions from time to time about what we believe and why we believe. And basically, this series is about answering some of the questions that we may not always be able to answer on our own, as well as empowering you to be a good witness for the faith. And today, my theme is called Sharing Your Testimony. One of the things that I have realized in my Christian walk is that sharing your testimony or your actual testimony is one of the most powerful tools of evangelism. Think about it like this. You purchase a product and you share with others about your experiences with this product. And as a result, they now purchase this product because they heard that it works for you. Think about Christ like that. When others hear about what he has done for you, they will be more open to receiving him, because a lot of people know about Christ, but when we are able to share about what he has done for us, it makes the Christian faith all the more appealing. And today I just really wanted to share 3 practical ways in which you can share your faith. Now, as it relates to sharing your faith, I want to encourage you to write your testimony, and if you can pull pen and a paper to take some of these notes and some of these tips that I would share in this video. Now, the first thing that you want to write is, what was your life like before Christ? Now, of course, I want to encourage you to be brief, be concise, you share enough, not too much. So for me, I can share that before Christ, I had a very low self-esteem. Now, although I grew up in church, I was not truly surrendered to Christ. And as such, I had a very, very low self-esteem. I was very impatient, and I had a lot of identity issues. And this is just to name a few, all right, as it relates to my life before Christ. Peace was something that was so far off, and this was me before Christ. So the first thing you want to talk about is, what was your life like outside of Christ? And the second thing that I want you to jot down is, what drew you to Christ? Now, I'm going to share what drew me to Christ. Now, as I was saying before, that basically for me, I grew up in church. I actually never stopped attending church. But what really brought me into a place of surrender, now, there were some experiences that really started to touch my heart, but there was one thing that really brought me into a place of surrender. About 12 years ago, I received a gospel CD from a relative, and I don't know what it was about that gospel CD, but I know it had to be anointed. But the songs in that really began to touch my heart, and I was just so captivated by Jesus from that moment forth. I began to seek God. I began to really spend time and develop a relationship with God. And from then on, I've never looked back. I mean, there were moments, yes, I felt prey to condemnation. I pulled back a bit. But I've come to the place where I've learned that when I fall short, I don't run from God. I run to him. So this is basically one of the things that led me into a place of surrender with Christ. So the third thing that you want to write as it relates to your testimony is, how have you changed since you started serving Christ? Now for me, I want to share that since I've really surrendered to Christ, I've become more inclined to serving others. Before, it was a lot about me, right? But I really have a desire to serve others and to be a blessing to others. As it relates to my very temperament, I've become a lot more patient, a lot more peaceable. I truly know what the joy of the Lord is. I mean, I know what it is to have joy in the midst of a pandemic. I know what it is to have joy in the darkest seasons of my life. That's because of Christ. And that is why, or that is how my life has been changed. And I mean, this is just to name a few. And as you make list of those three things, I'm gonna call it again. The first thing you want to write is, what was your life like before Christ? The second thing is, what made you surrender to Christ? And the third thing is, how have you been transformed because of Christ? Now, you write down these things. You practice. It's good to practice speaking those things. And as you feel more confident to be able to articulate it in person, orally to others, this is how you can start sharing your testimony. So you write it, you memorize it, and then when given the opportunity, say, Lord, lead me to those that I can share my faith with. I mean, it may be a family member, it may be a neighbor, it may be a co-worker, or it even may be a perfect stranger. But I really want to encourage you to rise up in this season and to be a good witness for the faith. You know, the Bible says that the Son came to seek and save that which was lost. You know, Jesus did not wait for those to come around, you know, and then share. He went out looking for others. And this is one of the ways that we can be prepared. This is one of the ways that we can seek the lost. When we have prepared ourselves to share our faith, to share about what God has done for us. This is one of the things that we can truly say we have the Father's heart and interest when we desire to tell others about what He has done for Him, what He has done for us, and how He has transformed our lives. So I really want to encourage you to write down those steps, to memorize it, and to practice those and declaring and sharing your testimony with others. So I want to say thank you for listening, and you are free to share this video.